Shifting gears before we go to break, what do you make of Bob Costas on the last Sunday, not this Sunday, but last Sunday's game, coming out and blaming the Second Amendment for what that guy did, all hopped up on drugs? And now, USA Today headline, Cowboys mold device to immobilize players' cars, just all of them guilty because one guy flipped a car. And then Costas went on different TV shows and said men 20 to 30 can't be trusted to own guns, period.
Well, first of all, that's the liberal side of the takeover. Their job is to disarm us. The liberal point of view is that we shouldn't have guns. They should all be taken away. And my argument's simple on that, Alex. Mexico is a country that doesn't allow guns. Do I need to say anything more?
Well, I think
20,000 Mexicans were killed last year in the war on drugs because they can't defend themselves. They're not allowed to have drugs, and guns, and it clearly shows the old cliche. If you take away the guns from the people, then only the bad guys are going to have them. And Mexico is the clear example of that thought process. The simple argument is to tell people Mexico doesn't allow drugs or guns, and look at the mess down there.
And they've got drugs banned. That's also what's helping destroy them. Okay, here's Bob Costas on NBC, said the same thing on Fox as well, saying that basically football players can't be trusted to have guns. And now they're saying that in Dallas Morning News, they want to make them all have breathalyzers, guilty until proven innocent. When somebody else does something wrong, if somebody in Texas kills somebody, we're going to make Jesse Ventura turn his guns in. I mean, that's just out of control. Let's go ahead and play this Bob Costas clip for the governor.
You can't have 65 guys in their 20s and 30s, aggressive young men subject to impulses, without something bad happening.
Charles Barkley's come out and said this is pure bull. These are rich people. They're targets. We found dozens of examples, drudgereport.com, linked to our story last week, of where NFL and other professionals have stopped home invasions, carjackings with guns. Governor, you've been an athlete. I mean, wrestling's hard, one of the hardest sports out there, many experts have said. You've a governor, all this stuff. I mean, this idea that movie stars and people can't have a gun, or that football players can't have a gun. I mean, why do we have 18-year-olds with guns then in the military?
Exactly. I mean, I find that a bit laughable when they tell you 20 to 30-year-olds shouldn't have a gun, and you make the exact point, Alex. You can go into the military at 18 and you can kill for the government, and there's no problem whatsoever in that aspect of it. I guess Costas would put a little caveat there stating military does not count. Because if he feels that 20 to 30-year-olds should not have guns, then therefore there can't be a 20 to 30-year-old in the military. We will only take over 30, using his analogy.
But we see this more and more, like with the TSA. We're all guilty, and then it turns out that the government's running Al-Qaeda. That was even in the New York Times finally yesterday. We showed it earlier. Now the TSA is fanning out on the streets. This idea of, since one guy flipped his car drunk, we're going to make all the NFL have breathalyzers. That's incredible authoritarianism.
Well, I don't see where it can ever hold up, Alex. They have a collective bargaining agreement in the NFL, as do all pro sports except wrestling. It would have to be approved by the union, and they're not going to approve some nonsense like that. It's selective. They're doing it selectively. If they can alienate and ban certain people, it's all part of a bigger picture to ban it altogether, and that's the way you erode it away. By taking little portions, and all of a sudden you're going to tell NFL football players they're not covered by the Second Amendment, that they don't have Second Amendment rights. Well, maybe they don't, Alex, because after all, remember, when I tried to go go to court over the TSA. I sued under the Fourth Amendment, reasonable search and seizure, and the federal judge threw it out of court, stating she didn't have jurisdiction. So, you know, at airports, you're not covered by the Bill of Rights or the Constitution. So this is just another part of them eroding it away bit by bit. You know, it's like anything. You know, water takes years to erode something away, and it does it just slowly by every little grain of sand. And that's what you've got happening here to our Constitution and Bill of Rights. Not just the Second Amendment, but other amendments to it also are being slowly eroded away until they don't exist anymore.
Yes, sir. We're going to go to break. You've got to go at 40 after, and then I'll go to all the callers that are holding. But let me raise this for you here. The Atlantic Monthly reporter wants to know, and I know you said I can handle it, but I want to get your take on this. He says, conspiracy theory with Jesse Ventura. What happened with the FEMA show, the police state show, and the TSA show? And the question is, is there a suppression of conspiracy theory? What's your quote for Atlantic Monthly magazine?
Well, I would have to say what the facts are, that the FEMA show was taken off after airing only one time, and I guess now they don't even acknowledge we did it. You can't get it unless you go to YouTube for that first one time it was on. And the TSA show, again, that we've completed the show, and they chose not to air it. So somebody on their end has made that decision. Who made that decision, I do not know. I can only say the truTV, the network, did. Who influenced the network not to do that show or not to air it, I do not know that. But all I can tell you is absolutely we've been censored. Absolutely shows have not been shown, and shows have been taken off after they've been shown only one time.
That's right. We'll come back and talk about...
The facts are the facts, Alex. It's that simple.
It is. We'll be right back and get into the TV show itself and a little more with Jesse Ventura. Stay with us. Sick of the globalist eugenicist control freaks adding poison to your water and laughing as you get sick and die? Start purifying your water with ProPur. My friends, I've done a lot of research, and the best gravity filter out there, bar none, is ProPur, and it's available discounted at INFOWARS.com. Its filters are silver impregnated to prevent bacterial growth. There's no priming required. It's NSF 42 certified. Optional fluoride filters can reduce fluoride up to 95%. Easy to set up and use. Doesn't require electricity. Purify water from lakes, streams, ponds, and wells. This filter system leaves in beneficial minerals, which is key. Save money by not buying bottled water and avoid BPA that leaches from the plastic. ProPur is the best gravity-fed filter out there. It's what my family uses. INFOWARS.com already has the lowest price on ProPur. But if you add the promo code WATER at checkout, you get an additional 10% off at INFOWARS.com. You can also call to order 888-253-3139.